What if I told you I could speed up your improvement, meaning that I could make you better faster? Well, today I'm going to teach you several tips that I wish I knew sooner. I'm going to give those tips to you so you can get better faster. Let's get right into it. The first tip I wish I knew earlier was how to correctly utilize the lob when playing doubles. So we're going to do some points here and I'm going to talk through the do's and don'ts for the lob. So here we go. We're getting into where we're just dinking. Now, the first thing I want to show you or talk through is how to correctly hit the lob. When we're hitting our dinks, we're just nice and easy. We're not doing too much. When we go to hit that lob, all we're going to do is just lift through it a little bit more than what we're normally doing. So notice I keep that same motion like I'm hitting a dink, but then I just push up and push through more. Now, the second thing we want to focus on when we're hitting that lob is where we're aiming for the lob. So notice what I did on that last one. I'll do it again here. When I'm hitting the lob, what I'm doing is I'm hitting it to that backhand side. Another perfect lob there. The backhand side of my opponent. Now keep in mind when you're doing this, so we're on this side here, if her partner is a righty, the partner might take that as a forehand overhead. So you have to be careful not to get it too far to the backhand. Now, if, Jess, let's have you shift over a little bit. If you're dinking and I've got her pulled over here, now I've got more space. You don't have to chase this one down. You got more space to hit that lob to her backhand side without getting it too close to her partner. So again, we're hitting that upward motion and we're hitting it to her backhand. Now, the other thing we want to think about is where she's at in position, where her maybe body is leaning. So if I'm in a dink battle with her and she is back off of that line a little bit, or if you can tell she's leaning back, I'm not gonna wanna hit a lob because she's expecting it, or she's gonna be, even if she's not expecting it, she's in a good position to get back and hit an overhead. Now, if she's leaning forward, we're in this battle here, and she's trying to take the ball out of the air. I could tell she's being a little bit more aggressive. Here she takes one out of the air there, and boom, I take the lob. Now, I maybe forced that one a little bit, and I got that to her forehand, but it was still a good example where she's leaning forward, she's on the balls of her toes, or on the front of her toes versus the balls of her feet on the back, and she's not able to move back as quickly if she's leaning forward like that. So that's number 3. I'd say maybe the fourth part about the lob that we want to make sure we don't do is we don't want to overhit it. I'm guilty of this. I do this when I'm playing where it's a fun shot. It really, when you hit it well and you do it on your opponents, it feels really good because you get it back and then you're able to win the point after. But you really don't want to hit this more than maybe 2 times, 3 times in a game. As soon as you start overhitting it, using it too much, they start getting ready for it and they know it's coming. So don't overuse it. So the second thing that I wish I knew sooner was when I'm dinking, not to try to put so much spin on it. We get in these dink battles and we're trying to outspin our opponent and try to win the point with our spin. So I'll show you what I mean. We get here and we're really trying to get a lot of spin on it. Here we go. Let's keep doing that. Trying to spin it a ton. And really, when you're dinking, you're not able to generate a ton of spin, not enough to where it's really gonna matter. And what happens when you do try to hit that spin is you get really choppy. So I'm trying to hit this spin and I'm getting all choppy and you lose control. This is a big problem I see a lot of players make, is they get way too wristy and too choppy with their dinks. What we really wanna do with our dinks, we wanna lock the wrist, right? Lock that wrist and just lift it over the net. You're sort of just guiding it towards your target. So here we go, nice and simple. I'm not putting much spin on it, but I've got my wrist locked and I'm just guiding it over. Now, especially on the backhand, that backhand, I see so many people tempted to really chop at it because it's just almost a natural thing to do, is to just, you feel like you have to chop at that. And again, it's so hard to control that. So instead, I want you to just really focus on lifting it over. Nice, Jess. You've just got that wrist nice and locked. lifting it over. And it's simple as that. All right, let's pause real quick. I want to thank Yola for sponsoring this video. And if you want to save 10% on any paddle, use our code PickleballJourney. It's in the description below. Now let's get back to it. All right, this next tip, I think and hope, is really going to save you a lot of misses and win you more points. So we're talking about the drop, whether it's a third shot drop, fifth shot, seventh, ninth, 11th, whenever. When we're hitting a drop from the baseline like this, we want it to land perfectly over the net into the kitchen. Now, a couple of things I really wish I knew sooner when I was first hitting the drop, and even, a year ago is, we'll start with this one because this is the biggest one, is do not fall back as you're hitting the drop. This is something I have to remind myself oftentimes when I'm playing in games, because I'll find myself getting pushed back, and as I'm getting pushed back, I'm falling off my back foot. If you ever do get caught in that situation, make sure you're putting extra margin over the net and a little bit extra power, because naturally when you're falling back, it's going to force you to hit with less power, and oftentimes you're going to miss that in the net. So if you're forced to move back, put a little bit extra power. But I'd like for you instead, get back and then move into it. Now I almost missed that in the net, but I didn't. So again, we really want to make sure we're moving forward into the net. And it's sometimes hard as they're hitting these drops. I'll have Jess feed me a couple here, but if you want to feed these here, watch how I'm moving back and then I'm getting in here. Moving forward now, getting pushed back, and I'm moving into it. If she hits one of these deeper, now I'm up here and I've been moving in. She hits one a little bit deeper, try to hit one a little deeper, there we go. Notice how I get back, and maybe on that one, we'll do a little slow-mo there, but on that one, I wasn't necessarily moving way forward, but I got back and I at least had my weight neutral. So again, if you can, get back, get that weight neutral or moving forward, you'll be less likely to miss in the net. Now, a couple other things here that have really helped me make more drops in and things I wish I knew sooner. Be very simple with your drop. You don't want a big motion where we're taking a big swing and then we decelerate because we've taken a big backswing, and as we're going through it, we're actually slowing down the shot. That's gonna miss in the net. Or sometimes you take it back and we're just swinging through too much and it's going too high, too far. When you do take that big backswing, it's harder to control the ball. You may get more power that way, but again, we're not hitting a drive, we're hitting a drop. We want control. So instead, here, hit me another one. Watch where I'm at here with my paddle. Nice out in front. Barely missed that. There we go, right out in front. That's a tough one. Shot, right out in front, boom. There we go, right out in front. And the key here, we're taking a shorter backswing, but we're making sure we're accelerating through the ball with our paddle. We're not doing a really soft and stopping right here, but we're accelerating through the whole time, and our finish is up high. Here we go. Accelerate through, accelerate through. All right, the last tip is a quick one, but maybe the most important. And I wish I really knew sooner to let more balls go out. Sometimes it doesn't matter the level you're playing. If you're playing with beginners or even as you move up in level, you might need even more so to let balls go out, because people are gonna be hitting harder and harder the better they get. So a couple things to keep in mind. If your opponent's hitting the ball from down low, you should tend to lean towards letting that ball go out. You can still hit it, but most of the time, let that go. If your opponent's really winding up, be ready to move off to the side and let that ball go out. Be more aware of where the ball's landing, where the ball's flying. That way you can, win the point right there instead of hitting the ball and hoping you're gonna win the point later on. So let more balls fly out and you'll be better off.